How do people start to understand each other better? Is it just listening? Is it curiosity? What is it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you asked two things. Where do we go wrong in being curious? But if we speak to that curiosity part, I guess, well, start with where do we go wrong? So where we go wrong a lot of the time is we just sit with ourselves and we do things from our own point of view in our own heads, forgetting our partner is a separate entity with a separate view on the world and a separate set of preferences. And we are two independent objects that need to work together to have an overall harmonious life. And when we can think of our partner as a teammate, so if you think of like playing soccer, if I'm on the field and we're playing indoor soccer, if I'm on the field with 5 other people are playing, if I play just solo, that's going to be really hard for me to win the game. But as soon as I start passing to other people on my team or utilizing their skills, we have a much better chance at winning. Same thing with your partner. We have to recognize that they can be our teammate and we'll get farther along. So one of the biggest things people do that makes them go wrong is we sit back and we try to get our partner to see the world from our perspective only, or we like forget their whole other entity with their own strengths and weaknesses and different challenges. And so where we go wrong is we stop having tolerance for the fact that they're different than us. And one of the biggest things that we can do to attune is be tolerant that someone is different than you, which slides then into being curious. So when we can be curious about our partner, what we do when we're intolerant of someone else's different beliefs, values, the way they show up in the world is we judge them. We're like, so let's imagine I judge my husband's cooking. I'm like, you just eat your steak wrong. That's what people say about me, but I was like, you do this wrong. He's going to feel defensive. He's going to feel on edge. Instead, I come to this and I go, we have two different sets of preferences. Neither is right. Neither is wrong. They're just different. If we can approach it from a state of difference and then be curious about the other people's view, curiosity helps us step away from being judgmental. When we can step into being curious about our partner and why they did what they did, that's also going to help us slide into empathy. And when we're feeling quite frustrated or hurt or overwhelmed, it can be hard to be empathetic towards your partner. So one of the keys to empathy is being curious about why on earth they did what they did. And if we can tap into that, having tolerance for a different set of views and being a bit more curious and empathetic, that's going to help us understand a rupture and be more open to repairing. But a key to repairing where we go wrong is not being willing. A lot of the time, a lot of repair has to do with, are you willing to make it better? Are you willing to be curious?
And
a lot of people aren't willing.
Yeah. And are you willing to put your opinions and beliefs aside for a moment to try and understand them, right?
Exactly. And some of us in the heat of the moment are not willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.